Dear students of medicine and allied sciences, I am happy to reach you through this video presentation on revision of histology. I am Dr. J.P. Gunasekharan, Professor of Anatomy at Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences and also author, Textbook of Histology, Atlas and a Practical Guide, Elsevier publication. The slides which you are going to see in this presentation are not new to you. You would have already seen these slides in your medical school during histology practical classes. Presentation of this type gives a quick review of all the slides with points of identification and related questions which are often asked during discussion of these slides. The whole histology is divided into 18 presentations, each of which is of 15 to 20 minutes duration. So the entire histology can be covered in 5 to 6 hours of viewing and listening. Now let's go to the presentation. This presentation deals with intestine. Intestine is divided into small intestine and large intestine. Small intestine is the principal site for absorption of products of digestion and is divided into 3 parts, namely duodenum, jejunum and ileum. They are provided with finger-like projections called intestinal villi for absorption. Large intestine lacks intestinal villi but contain plenty of mucus secreting goblet cells, facilitating easy passage of feces. It harbors some non-pathogenic bacteria that produce vitamin B12 and vitamin K necessary for hemopoiesis and for coagulation respectively. Large intestine is divided into appendix, cecum, colon, rectum and anal canal. This is a schematic 3D picture of section of small intestine showing general architecture. Like any other hollow tubular organ, it's made of 3 coats plus an additional submucosal coat. They are from inner to outer: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa and serosa. Only mucosa and submucosa show specialization in various regions, and the rest of the coats are same as that of any tubular organ. The mucous membrane of small intestine shows finger-like projections called intestinal villi, which increase the absorptive area. The intestinal villi are lined by simple columnar absorptive epithelium and numerous mucus secreting goblet cells. The absorptive columnar enterocytes are provided with microvilli which further increase the surface area for absorption. The microvilli give a striated appearance to the epithelium under light microscope. From the base of the villi, there are tubular invaginations of epithelium into the lamina propria called crypts of Lieberkühn or intestinal glands. These crypts are lined by columnar and goblet cells. Apart from these cells, Paneth cells are found at the base of the crypts, which secretes lysozyme, an antibacterial enzyme controlling the intestinal flora. This is a section of duodenum. The mucosa shows leaf-like intestinal villi lined by simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells. This is a longitudinal section of a villus where the goblet cells are clearly seen. You can also see a single blind-ended lymphatic vessel called lacteal. and capillary loops can also be seen on either side, oriented longitudinally for transport of absorbed nutrient. Mucosa has Brunner's glands which secretes alkaline mucus that neutralizes acid chyme and protects the duodenal mucosa from autodigestion. There are also endocrine cells present in the mucosa that secretes hormones like urogastrone, secretin and cholecystokinin. Urogastrone inhibits HCl secretion in the stomach, and the other two hormones, secretin and cholecystokinin, regulate pancreatic secretion. This is a H&D drawing of duodenum, which can be identified by the presence of short leaf-like intestinal villi lined by simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells, Brunner's glands in the submucosa, and of course the cross sections of crypts of Lieberkühn in the lamina propria, which are not only seen in small intestine but also in the large intestine. This is a section of jejunum. The mucosa shows finger-like intestinal villi lined by simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells. Submucosa has no glands or lymphatic aggregations, Peyer's patches. This is a H&D drawing of jejunum. It can be identified by the presence of long club-shaped intestinal villi lined by simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells, absence of Brunner's glands and Peyer's patches. This is a photomicrograph of ileum. The mucosa shows small, slender villi lined by simple columnar epithelium with lot of goblet cells. The goblet cells are numerous over here than duodenum and jejunum. Their number increase as you trace distally. This is a cross section of a villus. Note the increased number of goblet cells. You can also make out a lacteal and on either side the capillaries. Submucosa is characterized by the presence of Peyer's patches, which is aggregations of lymphatic nodules. M cells or microfold cells can be seen on the epithelium overlying the Peyer's patches. These M cells are the antigen presenting cells. They process the surface antigen and present to the underlying lymphocytes. They are part of the mononuclear phagocytic system. This is a H&D drawing of ileum and is characterized by the presence of short, slender, finger-like intestinal villi lined by simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells, Peyer's patches in the submucosa. Muscularis mucosa is disrupted because the lymphatic nodules break the muscularis mucosa and may be often seen in the lamina propria. This is a section of vermiform appendix under scanner. Compare the small angular lumen to the thick wall. It has no villi, only few crypts are seen. One can see ring of lymphatic nodules in the lamina propria. Appendix is considered as abdominal tonsil because the lymphatic nodules in the lamina propria resembles the palatine tonsil. Presence of trapped fecalith may be one of the reasons for appendicitis. This is a higher magnification of the same slide. This is a H&D drawing of vermiform appendix, and this can be identified by the presence of few crypts of Lieberkühn, lymphatic nodules in the lamina propria, no intestinal villi, the surface is smooth, the small angular lumen compared to the thick wall. This is a section of colon. This can be identified by absence of villi and presence of crypts of Lieberkühn plenty. The crypts of Lieberkühn are lined by the columnar cells, few columnar cells, and more of goblet cells. Please note the Paneth cells are absent. We have seen Paneth cells at the base of the crypts in the small intestine, but the large intestines, the crypts do not have any Paneth cells. You can see the well-defined muscularis mucosa. Deep to that there is a submucosa, and this one is a muscularis externa. The outer longitudinal layer of the muscularis externa forms three ribbon-like bands called Taenia coli, but they are not included in this section. Serosa may show fat-filled peritoneal pockets called appendices epiploicae, which are also not included in the section, and the outer layer is the serosa. This is a H&D drawing of colon, which can be identified by the presence of many crypts of Lieberkühn arranged regularly at right angle to the surface, no intestinal villi, well-defined muscularis mucosa. Of course, lastly, if you move the slide, you will be able to make out the taenia, the ribbon-like aggregated longitudinal muscular coat. These are the probable viva questions often asked during discussion. Please go through this slide. With this, we come to the end of presentation on intestine. Thank you very much for listening and watching.